Hey everyone, I'm hungover. Anyway, let's talk about a Serbian film. This is gonna make me feel like wanting a drink. I had never heard of this movie until probably a couple of weeks ago, when all of a sudden I started getting comments on my Facebook and on my Twitter asking me if I've seen it. And I'd never heard of it, and for the most part, like, I just goes, oh, have you seen a Serbian film? And I'm thinking, okay, I've never heard of it. And that was it. I mean, I get asked quite a bit if I've seen certain movies, and I have a short attention span, so I kind of forget about being asked that particular question. And then I was emailing back and forth with my friend Rich, and he asked me if I had seen this movie. And then I was like, okay, what is this fucking movie? I gotta look up this fucking movie. What is this, a Serbian film? Okay, so I looked it up. It sounded fucked up. Like, I've been asked how God knows how many times if I've seen it. I gotta watch it. I gotta review it. It seems like nowadays, as seasons go by, or a 6-month period goes by, let's say, it seems we have a new Human Centipede every 6 months, like a really gross, far out movie that gets really popular on the internet. And that's really the case here. I mean, it is this quarter's Human Centipede. And Human Centipede I liked. Human Centipede, I thought, it was a good thriller. The grossest thing about Human Centipede is just the idea of it, you know, just what he's doing. That's the gross thing about it. When you break it down, it's a decent thriller. The main guy, Dieter Laser was his name, was great in the movie. So now we got this Serbian film, which showed at like the South by Southwest Film Festival, I guess, and was really controversial, and people leaving screenings and throwing up and shit. So I watched the fucking thing. You know, I was thinking about so much stuff while watching this, even afterwards. I mean, it's been a few days since I watched it. I'm glad I watched it by myself. I'm glad no one was watching it with me, because I'd feel like a dickhead. Thinking about all unpleasant movies that I've sat through, I think this might be the first one that I regret watching. I really regret watching this movie. And, okay, E.T. the Porno. I don't regret watching it. It was gross, but whatever, I got a good laugh out of it. Porno Holocaust. I don't regret watching it. It was terrible, but I watch a lot of terrible things. The worst movie I've ever seen, Las Vegas Bloodbath. Worst fucking piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Do I regret watching it? No, because if I hadn't seen it, I wouldn't be able to call it the worst film ever made. I'd be picking on a movie I've never seen, and that would just be mean. This movie, there was a point in this where I sat back and thought, I don't want to watch any more of this. I want to shut it off. Life is too short to be watching something like this. But I'm watching it with the intent to talk about it, and I didn't want to quit watching it because I didn't want to come on here and say that I quit watching it. So I watched the rest of the movie. And there's just stuff here, well, really just one scene in particular, that I can't unsee. And I want to unsee it, but I can't. There's no reason for me to have seen it in a movie that is just a gore film. It's just made purely for shock value. I'm sorry, it is. It's just made for shock value. That's it. The rest of the violence in it, I'm a big horror exploitation guy. I mean, a lot of the violence in it, I mean, it's really far out there. But it was something I kind of seen before, so I don't know if it's that I'm desensitized to it or what, but Like, okay, there's a scene where a girl's got her teeth yanked out, and a guy is forcing her to give him head. Something like that. Yeah, it's far out there, but, you know, I've seen blood-sucking freaks, you know. That's kind of, I mean, this movie is, it's like if blood-sucking freaks wasn't stupid. That's basically this. The plot of the movie is about a porn star, it's John Holmes, motherfucker. This porn star, he's got a wife and a kid, he's more or less retired from the business, but he really misses it. And then he gets an offer from this sleazy fucking Max Force child psychologist who wants to get into porn producing. So he offers him all this money to be in this movie that he's not telling him what it's about, not telling him what he has to do. He just has to show up and be filmed for he doesn't know why. And at that point, it's like, dude, run. Man, don't do this. Don't fucking do it, man. It could be terrible. He could be wanting to put you in fucking Heaven's Gate. Oh, shit. Don't do it, man. They're going to put you in Meyer Breckenridge. So he agrees to do it. He agrees to do it, and you know, going into it, it's like, alright, it's probably going to turn out to be a snuff film. So what they do is they kind of drop him off and they put an earpiece. They put an earpiece in his ear and send him off, and the director is giving him cues in the earpiece, and they're just guys dressed in black holding cameras, sort of following him. He enters in this abandoned like psychology building or insane asylum or something like that, and so then like girl comes along, he fucks her, and then like a little girl comes and watches and stuff like that, and it's like really throwing the guy off. And eventually he tries to drop out of it, and then he tries to drop out of it, and then he wakes up like 4 days later, covered in blood, and he's trying to piece together what happened. It's like a porno version of Dude, Where's My Car? Oh, dude, where's my boner? So he finds like the tapes that were shot, and he's watching them, and it's all stuff like he's got a girl chained to a bed, and they of course drug him. That's why he can't remember anything. And he's got this girl chained to a bed, and he hacks off her. He's fucking her. He hacks off her head with a machete. He like, there's incest, and there's all this weird shit in there. The worst thing about it is something that I can't even talk about. And those of you who've seen it know what I'm talking about. I'm watching this movie, like, I can't talk about this. How could anyone admit that they're watching what they're seeing in one particular shot in this movie? And I know at this point in this review, it doesn't matter if I give it a positive review or not, because at this point, you're going to watch it out of curiosity. But don't. Don't fucking watch it. I know you think you want to see it, but you don't. You really don't. Like I said, I can't unsee this movie. It's too late for me. It's not too late for you. Now, does that make this the most disturbing movie I've ever seen? Well, yeah, I guess, but so what? That's not like saying something is the most disturbing movie ever made isn't saying it's any good. It isn't like saying this is the scariest movie ever made. This is the funniest movie ever made. Because when you say that tells you right there that you're recommending it. You know, it's saying that it's the best at that. The disturbing is completely different, because a single scene of this movie could be just like, you know, like a 4-minute internet video with no context whatsoever, just that scene, and I'd still say it's the most disturbing thing I've ever seen. But that doesn't mean I like it. That doesn't mean it's any good or enjoyable. That just means it's disturbing. So what? And this movie, I'll admit, it's well made. It's very well made. It's got a real kind of Cronenberg look to it. It's very well acted. On all counts, the acting in it is really top notch. I mean, this isn't. That's basically what I meant by saying like it's like Bloodsucking Freaks, but it's not stupid. That's basically it. Because this movie, I mean, it's not funny. It isn't like Bloodsucking Freaks, where it's like, okay, this is fucking retarded. How could you not crack a smirk in that fucking movie? No, this isn't like that. This is just... And I think what really, really gets me is how it's claimed by the makers of it to be like to symbolize the Serbian government or something like that. And I am not the one to get into all that. I understand that there's some roughness there and everything, but I'm sorry, this is just an exploitation film. I said the same thing about Sallow. I'm calling bullshit. This movie's just made for shock value. That's it. They're not trying to say anything here. They're just trying to show incest and rape and molestation, and that's it. You know, if you want to make a movie to condemn any sort of government, just make that movie. You know, don't film two Brazilian chicks eating shit and tell me, oh, it symbolizes apartheid, whatever, and stuff like that. I mean, come on. I said the same thing about Sallow. That's why I did that snob video on Sallow, the one where the character's like praising it for like all this stuff that's supposed to symbolize stuff, and it's all bullshit. It's just a movie about rape and torture. It's made for shock value. That's it. I'm trying to think here. Like, I mean, what else could I really even say about this fucking thing? Like, the place where it goes the darkest. All right, for those of you who have seen my movie Cheap, the scene in Cheap where the pregnant lady gets killed. Spoiler. Picture that, but multiplied by 1 billion. Yeah, that's kind of what you get here. And I don't know if that makes me feel sort of hypocritical, that I'm really just totally not recommending this movie at all, but I made Cheap. Well, how do I paint myself out of this corner? Alright, I will fully admit I was not trying to say anything with Cheap. There's nothing in that movie that's supposed to symbolize anything. Nothing is supposed to stand for anything. It's a movie made to be really sleazy and to be pretty violent when it gets violent. That's it. I was just making an exploitation film. Nothing was supposed to symbolize anything. And I wasn't trying to... It wasn't like my condemnation of the Bush administration or whatever. Like, no, nothing like that. I will fully admit I was not trying to say anything with that movie. And the makers of this movie can't even do that. And it's so funny, like, when I read positive reviews of this movie, and it's all full of such horse shit about what it means, what everything stands for. It's like, I'm calling fucking bullshit. Most, like, artsy fucking positive reviews I've seen for this fucking movie, it's all them just trying to come up with excuses as to why they like a movie that's got a scene like this movie has in it, which is completely unnecessary. Like this fucking scene I'm talking about, and I'm not going to say what it is. You'll be able to see, someone will go on the comments of this review and say what it is. You'll be able to see it there. I'll tell you what, if you want to watch this movie, watch it on a date. On a first date. See how that goes. Tell me about it afterwards. Alright, I went on Twitter after I had watched it, asked you guys to tell me what you thought, so I picked some on here, so let's see here. Gypsy Mouse says, this was the most fucked up movie, no pun intended, film he'd ever seen. I agree. Nephilim6 says, loved Serbian film. Fun, modern exploitation, and one of the few titles out there where the term torture porn actually applies. There's nothing fun about this movie in any way whatsoever. Torture porn, yeah. As much as I hate the term torture porn, torture porn, that's just a term created by fucking film snobs to belittle current horror films. The definition of what these fucking critics consider to be torture porn, stuff like Hostel, stuff like Saw, whatever. Movies that have torture in them. Whatever. Movies like that have existed even before... Fucking look at Bloodsucking Freaks. Movies like that have existed longer than slasher films. Anytime some mainstream movie critic dismisses something as torture porn, I just roll my eyes. And it's not me saying I like the particular movie. I can't stand the Hostel movies, but movies like that have existed forever. Just shut up with the fucking torture porn shit. But anyway, he liked it, so maybe some other people out there will like this movie. The Toxo Zombie says, a Serbian film equals shitty exploitation trying to one-up Saw, Hostel, but more pretentious. I agree. That's all it's trying to do. It's just trying to one-up other movies with torture in them. That's it. Except this one is more well-made. But Saw, I will say, is a better movie than this is. Blackface Kermit says... Blackface Kermit. Is that racist Kermit from Family Guy? Yeah, why don't you go back the way you came? Blackface Kermit says, a Serbian film makes movies like Doom Generation and Irreversible look like children's movies in comparison. You know, violence-wise, yeah. And I'm not a prude. I'm not diminishing this movie because I'm a prude. My favorite movie is Caligula. I mean, come on. I'm not a fucking prude. I own a copy of I Spit on Your Grave. Irreversible. When I had my DVD collection, I had a copy of that. Irreversible is a good movie. The Doom Generation is one of the worst fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. Yeah, I hate don't even get me started on the fucking Doom Generation. Ugh. Anyone who loves the Doom Generation is just an asshole. Sorry. But seriously, fucking Greg Araki was the Eli Roth of the 90s. He was just as terrible of a fucking writer. Okay. Mongolmer, probably gonna pronounce some of these wrong. Mongolmer says, Serbian film is fun. Could have used more rape, though. Well, I guess the movie couldn't please everybody. If you like scatological shit, you might not like Serbian film. I think that's the only thing the movie doesn't have. That are golden showers. You like that shit, the movie might disappoint you. KukoCon22 says, it had scenes and actors. Only I'm not sure if those people were actors. Oh crap, this is a real snuff film. No, like I said earlier, one of the compliments I have about the movie is that it is well acted. It is very, very well acted. I will say that. The Corey Power says it was very Serbian. I don't know what that means. To my knowledge, this is the first movie made in Serbia I've ever seen. I like this. Phalis says, it was a film. It was a film, says Phalis. That's going to be on the DVD cover, I just know it. See, I agree with that. That's technically true. It was a film. It's a one on here I 100% agree with. He's right. It was a film. I just picture him saying that, too. He's sitting at the computer, like, all back. It was a film. Then he hangs himself. Yeah, I agree with that review. Lurk Piao says, I couldn't get over how much the main character in a Serbian film looks like David Spade. That's actually really true. Throughout a Serbian film, I was kind of looking at him going, I know I've never seen this guy in anything, but he looks like somebody, and I'm not, god damn it, who is it? I'm not putting my fucking finger on it. Yep, it's David Spade. The main guy in it does look a little bit like David Spade. Nyamir says, in terms of quality, technique, camera work, etc., it was a great movie. Well made, yeah. Was it fucked up? He goes, no, I've seen worse. What? What have you seen that's worse than this? Oh my god! Look at all the fucked up shit I watch, and I'm saying this is the most fucked up thing I've seen. It's that one scene that makes it more fucked up than anything else. More so than Sallow. Like, I've seen reviewers praise this movie and then compare it to another movie that they think is more fucked up than a Serbian film. And every time I've seen that, I disagree with it. Harry Knowles said that Necromantic 2 was more fucked up. No, it's not. Necromantic 2 is not more fucked up than this movie. And Necromantic 2 is fucked up, and so's the first one. But I can sit through those. I don't regret watching them. In fact, I kind of like the Necromantic movies. They have beautiful soundtracks. And in the case of Necromantic 2, it's got a great ending. The ending scene is kind of genius. That last line, man. What is, like, Cannibal Holocaust. Very disturbing. One of the most disturbing movies I've seen. Cannibal Holocaust, it's a great horror film. It's not more fucked up than this movie. It's not more fucked up than a Serbian film. Neither is Chainsaw Massacre. Neither is Human Centipede. God. I disagree with every movie that people have tried comparing this to say this other movie is more fucked up than a Serbian film. It's a fucking lie. Ugh. It's fucking Christ. Yeah, you can tell I didn't want to talk about this movie. I didn't want to admit that I even saw it, but clearly that's what I'm doing now. Everyone was watching it too, and Jillian was in the other room taking a nap, and throughout most of it, I'm thinking like, oh thank God she's not here. Oh my fucking God. Oh, if Jillian walked in on me watching this fucking movie, I probably wouldn't still be wearing the wedding ring right now. Oh man, I even heard the bedroom door open at one point, and I was like, oh shit, she's gonna... God damn it, where's the fucking pause button? How do I stop this? No, I don't want to hit pause. Fuck, I want to hit stop. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Okay, like, I'm not recommending it in any way whatsoever. It's the first movie I've ever seen that I regret seeing. I wish I never saw this movie. I wish I'd never heard of this movie. I just want it to, like, I just want to eternal sunshine it out of my fucking head. Take away all of its fucking memories and shit. I will bash myself in the head with a fucking cup to see if the memory of this fucking movie would get erased. And I know that wouldn't happen. It would erase the memory of something that I like Caligula. I want that movie to stay in my heart forever. That's it. I know you're going to watch it out of curiosity. There's nothing I can do about that. I know you're going to watch it just because you're curious. All I can say is, don't. That's, you know, my warning, I guess, but I know you're going to. Have fun. And sleep well. You're gonna need it. That's my thoughts on a Serbian film, so I'll talk to you later.